fishing friends to another adventure. All right, let's check it out. So we're at this little backflow of this, one of these creeks. It's actually, it all makes it into a river system. This is like one of the side channels of the river. And I'm gonna be throwing this Helgermite from Rebel, this live flex. The only thing that concerns me is that giant collection of junk right there, Snag City. So we got to be careful with that, but I'm just going to thread this through, let it bounce along. Boy, the water is way down since the last time we were here. Excuse me. Oops, see right there, I got snagged up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all the support. My name's Alan, and I'm usually making some kind of a fishing video. Last time I was here, I kept getting sawed off from the rocks down there. But you can see that there's not anywhere near the amount of water that was here before. Although we did get some rain this morning. I mean, I was getting sawed off down there in the rock. It was just chaos. Anyway, so we'll fish this, and I got some other stuff we can throw too. Some Charlie Brewer stuff, some spinners. I rig them up on inline spinners, little jig spinners. Yeah, thanks for, ooh, there we go. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And what do we got? Almost got him caught on that wood. You see that? There we go. Oh, it's a little smallmouth. Is it a smallmouth? That's a little largy. Check them out. There we go. So we got one. Not bad, doing a little ultralight fishing. Man, I pulled in some huge fish out of here before. Get out of there. Did you see that? How it almost got caught up in there. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to come fish. The water is a lot lower than when I normally come fish, so usually you got all kinds of little different species of fish stacked in here right along the rocks right where I'm going. Those giant carp that were here the last time, they're not in here anymore. There we go, we got something. Ooh. False alarm. No. Ooh, that was close. Almost got snagged. Alright guys, check it out. There's just goose droppings everywhere here. Just to get down to the water. The other thing is the haze in the sky from all the Canadian wildfires. The sun is out and it's, I mean, I've got a shadow, but it's like a quarter of a shadow, if that makes sense. All right, let me get this turned around. All right, guys. So we're gonna give this a good run here we're gonna give this a good run for the money. So the gnats are out, the geese are all over the place, and what I mean by a good run for the money is we're gonna throw some of the ultralight stuff. We're also gonna throw some top water and maybe, ooh, we had one jump right there. So we're gonna be throwing different stuff, just a mixed bag, I guess you could say. But the conditions are just strange with this weird haze. But we'll see what we can catch. I'm interested in the top water and also the ultralight, see if I can catch some fish. So we'll see how it goes. This place intrigues me because of the flow from one end to the other. And it's not flooded anymore. When we were here last time, the water was clear up into here, all the way up. So it's not anywhere near that. So we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. Did you hear that? It's an owl. Huh, it's not even bothering the geese. You'd figure the geese would be making a run for it. All right, guys, we're at spot number 2. Spot number 1, it's just too shallow. We'll see how weedy it is here. Not too bad. The gnats are really bad. We had a nice rain last night, and then the heat, and all of a sudden these gnats are everywhere. It's got a little Charlie Brewer 1-inch grub, I think is what it is, or maybe 1.5 inches, just on this jig spinner. Slider company always has great products, you know, and I love pairing them up this way. Couple chasers there. It look like some little panfish, warmouth, or like a little bluegill. There's a little bit of cabbage. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Maybe it wasn't cabbage, it was an actual fish that hit. Holy cow, check it out, a crappie. Man, I didn't expect to get a crappie out of here. Come on. There we go. All right, guys. Let me get you a better view of them right there. For Iowa, that's pretty decent. That's small, actually, here, but it's good to see them in here. Look at my thumb right there, guys. That's where I got raked when I was fishing out on the river. Man, you don't think that that would hurt. It's like a glorified paper cut. Anyway, here's the setup. Right there. Pretty good. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Guys, I'm not too thrilled about these Bobby Garland jig heads, because see how it's this paint smearing off? It's like melting off. I don't have any idea what the deal is with that, but it's been happening with a lot of them. A lot of soft plastics that I've got in the different tackle trays where I've got some of those heads in there. It drives me absolutely crazy that I open the tackle bag or box or tray and I see that the colors have smeared. There we go, guys. Oh, did you see that? He flared out and hit it. Let's try this bank over here. I will say one thing, these jig heads come through cover really well. So I really like them for that reason right there. If they can get the paint issues sorted out. Oh, did you guys hear that? Here we go. I'm gonna chuck this minnow, see if we can change things up a little bit. This will run a little bit deeper too. It's got a gold blade on it. There we go. All right. We hooked up? Feels like we're hooked up. What is going on here? He just stopped. He just stopped. He swam and he just like... What? Is this a pike? I gotta be careful if this is a pike. Oh, because I don't have the line to handle it. It is a pike. Oh my gosh, thank goodness, self-release. Self-release. Man, I lucked out. All right, because I didn't have the line to get him out of there. That's interesting that there's pike in here. All right, guys, let me rephrase that. I was shocked that there was a pike in here. I shouldn't be, because this is overflow, like a flood control system for the river. When the river floods, they pump it into here and then out at another spot, which is like a creek. But man, I have to go back and look at the footage, recalculate and look. It looks like it's just right there, but A lot of that's false bank, so I didn't want to try to step in there to try to pull them up, so I tried to do like a mini bank flip. But anyway, interesting, very interesting indeed. I caught a pike in here. Yes, I'm counting it because it was technically right there. So that's 2 species. And I've had a panfish chase it. Yeah, see, the last time I was here, the water was up over the culvert right at the top here and even flooding. It's a video where I caught a bunch of fish on the Yum gadget worm that came out, that new for iCast. Don't worry, we'll make our way around to other parts of the pond, but I gotta pick this end apart for sure. I keep seeing all these different ripples and things. Man, I was surprised at that. I was surprised by the crappie, and then surprised by the pike, for crying out loud. Because you come here, you see, oh, it's like a little pond. Well, it's like a back channel system to help with flood control in the river. All right, not too shabby. Look over there, a family or a group just showed up for like a picnic or something. They're gonna have a rude awakening with these gnats that are out here. They're just swarming. All right, a couple more casts and we'll get ready to move. Oh yeah, look, they're already freaking out because of all the bugs. I shouldn't be saying that. That's not polite. The thing is, I gotta fish that corner down there, and I hope they don't move down in there. All right, guys, right in here, right as I was bringing it into shore, check this out. I mean, like right in the cabbage down there. Easy. There we go. That's good to see a young bass. There you go. All right, so on this one, it's just a little bluer. See, I got a pack of these for my students at the end of the year. They sent me a whole pack of minnows, and you know, it's end of the year. They're moving on, and so they want to get something for their teacher. The parents are real nice about getting us gift cards and things. Well, they got that nice pack of soft plastics. Yeah, they chased all the geese over to my side over here. They're making a ton of racket too, which is oof. I think they're trying to fish. But to their credit, they're sticking it out even with all the crazy gnats. All right, guys, we switched to something a little smaller, buggier, smaller spinner on there. These are the spinners. I want to say I ordered them from Charlie Brewer. Ooh, look at that. See, I see him trying to hit bugs and stuff, so I just swallowed one of those gnats. Yeah, see, they keep trying to hammer these dragonflies on the surface. There we go. Oh, I got him. Check it out. It's a little bass right there. Young one right there. Ooh, he's going to be pike bait. There he is right there. Yeah, he definitely has to be careful about being pike bait. All right, guys, right down in here. Bluegill, everything's like hanging around this. That vent or that port. There it is. You know, the thing about that is you could use a little bit bigger, heavier bait in there. A lure like a... I do have my bass stuff in here, but... to mimic bait fish and really get things going, because I've caught, was it 4 Titanic bass out of here? All 20 range. Maybe one was 18, but at least 20 for most of them. And you know what I'm starting to think is they get stuck in here unless it floods. Because how these culverts are, see, there's no water coming out of that culvert. And then the water that's in there is only going to be about, what, 2 inches deep, maybe an inch, if that. So anytime there's big rains or flooding rains, whatever comes through the tube is in here if they don't get out at the other end. So there's just no telling what you're going to get out of here. We'll move down to that other end here in a little bit. I want to pick this apart. This is a mistake I made. Threw in the big heavier minnow, because now throwing this, it's so feather light, it's just like, ugh. Yeah, I could totally see I got my bass rod with me right there with a bucktail jig on it, but it's just habit of always grabbing it. But I want to throw some of these. I hadn't really thrown these this much this summer. Some of this ultralight stuff. Some of the jigs I tied. The one I've got on here, this little feather jig. This little Popeye I can't even remember where in the heck I got it from. I'll show you guys. Maybe you guys can help me figure that out. No idea. Not one of mine. There we go. Dang it, I had one right there. Seems like everything's hanging right around the bank, except for that pike. He was out in the middle. Nothing over here. Slowly inching my way down to the other end. I'm trying to think about how strange it is. So there was current flowing through here. There's a frog went nuts. There was current flowing through here pretty sustained. When it was flooding coming out of there, I could see all the algae moving. But now what? It's turned off, so to speak. So the fish just kind of hang out and wait for the next one, I suppose. That's interesting. All right, so we're gonna move down to that other end, algae and bug city, but I get a hunch that maybe we can get some stuff down there. Look at this, guys. So you're walking along and there's just all of a sudden a random hole. There's no telling what that is. Woodchuck, badger, mink. I can hear water flowing, so the river's back in here. Oh yeah, I can hear it flowing over there. Oh yeah, and here's one of the smaller channels where it feeds in. Not very deep. But boy, when that water was rushing through here, this thing was just almost like a blowout. All right, one more cast through here before we go. There we go. So I got this on the Crappie Thunder from Mr. Crappie. It's got that crappie fins, 4-pound line to sunline leader, fluoro leader, but it's braid is what the fins is. But these Crappie Thunders, man, these are epic. So if you're looking for one to get, go to Lou's and pick one up. I ordered one and 2 came. I think I've told that story before and I was like, what? I checked the website, they didn't have any deals going on. I was like, well, I guess it was my lucky day to get 2 of them. I read the purchase thing and sure enough, I only paid for one. It was like 30 bucks or something like that, 35 bucks. The only thing I can think of is they put it in the tube to ship it like they would do with any rod. set it down, went off to do something, went to lunch, or who knows, went to a meeting, came back, and then just shoved another rod in there, didn't even bother to look. There goes a sneaky snake. And so then I wound up with 2 of them. Gnat City over here, guys. Poof. Check it out, guys. There's that intake where it all drains out of. So it's all like gravity and flow. That's where the current was coming from. But there's no water really moving through there now. Okay, so that cheese mat goes all the way out. That's why it's hard to, can't get it through there. Look at this, you got these crayfish holes, and then you got these goose crap everywhere. All right, so we moved over here to this side. We'll see how this works out. I mean, within just a matter of minutes, everything is just hazed up because of the wildfire smoke. There we go. Oh, I had one come up and pop it. Dang it. He didn't get it. It was kind of a small one. Maybe there's rock bass in here. I know the smoke is nothing like you have like up in other parts in the country, but man, this happened 3 years ago when I was fishing. I made a video about it, or maybe, yeah, 3 years ago, maybe 4. The other thing is these stinking gnats everywhere that are just gnawing on me. I use this Off Essentials, which works really well. I'm gonna have to get the head net on, I think. So I put that on my hat and on my clothes. You can put it on yourself. But somebody once said they're attracted to carbon monoxide. So the more you talk, the more you breathe. Yeah, this goose crap is just everywhere. Does it look like to you like people actually shoveled this out? Weird. Maybe they wanted to make more of a shoreline. I mean, like a beach area. Right in here along the rocks, guys. What do we got here? Does it look like a bass? Oh yeah, check it out. A bass on the hair jig. Oops. Dang it, guys. It's because I got this bandage. Now, where am I going to set this down? It's because I got this bandage on my hand from where I got raked by a fish. I got to get him out of there. All right, let's go back to Crappie Corner. Yeah, I was bringing a fish in. It was a walleye. And I had a grip of him, but man, he flailed around and just raked the side of my thumb there. They got some pretty sharp teeth. It was either that or it was the hook. So that was, what, like 2 days ago? So it's healing. So I got the arsenals of top waters and some shallow stuff. But I can tell I'm gonna have to put the head net on. Because, man, these stinking gnats. Sheesh. Usually they're bad in June when you first get here. Not this time of year. You could probably hear them buzzing around the camera. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Alright guys, I'm ripping a bomber, a long A through here. Shallow diver. I do have some suspend strips on there. Look at that willow on the back. It's perfect because if you do have a little bit of weeds, you only have to deal with one set of trebles coming through there. So the wind is blowing all this junk in here. Everything's changed from just a bit ago. It's weird how that works. You can kind of, we got wind shift, we got this, we got that. And everything just goes from clear to mucked up pretty quick. But see how that came through there pretty good? Ooh, I chased one out of there. Did you see the wake from it? Dang it, I landed it right in there. I was just talking about, it's pretty much weedless. And then I cast it right in there. All right. The wind has completely shifted, so. Ooh, there we go. Nope, got it right into a pat. Wait, there it came free. Just a little bit. Isn't that how it goes? As soon as you turn the camera on, everything kind of does not go according to plan. I'm going to be a hydrilla farmer. All right, let's work around this outer edge. All right, guys, so I've been giving it some rips through here. I love fishing these long A's, 14 A's. The 15 A's are really good too. They're just longer. And with that willow on the back end, that really attracts a lot of attention. Dang it, every cast. I tried to short arm it so it wouldn't land in there, but it didn't work. Ooh. There we go. Oh, and he came off. He came off. He was hooked, he just threw it. Everyone's gonna be like, see, you should have had a second treble on there. No. If a bass crushes that thing, the whole thing's gonna be in his mouth, or a pike. He just threw it. I know I'm still gonna hear but the second hook. I fished with these for so long. That's just a rare occurrence right there. Guys, it's been tough. Except for that one strike on the long A. I'm gonna throw this flapping frog from from Spro, Dean Rojas edition. We'll get some bites out of that. I've got just tons of videos out on this frog. I love throwing it so much. Oh, we gotta get over there. I'm trying to remember that spot, but I wanna still bring it through here because there could be something over here. Those are acting like crappie hitting bugs on the surface, but we shall see. I threw it over to the right, anticipating the wind would blow it to the left, and guess what? The wind didn't gust, so I'm off course. I keep hearing that owl that I heard earlier, but I don't think you guys can pick it up on, because it's kind of faint for me. You won't be able to hear it. Dang. Still working this bank, guys, with the flapping frog. I did see about 5 Corona bottle caps, though. Maybe a 6-pack even. I'm gonna have to pick those up when I get moving. No, they're not mine. See, when the water was up, you never saw any of this hydrilla. I was thinking, oh man, this pond is pretty clean. They cleaned it out. I don't mind grass, you guys know that, but I was like, oh man. But now it reveals itself when the water has dropped to its normal level, I assume. Sorry guys, got it. One of those gnats is just gnawing on my forehead there. All right, guys, I'm all out of ideas. What do you think? Go back to the ultralight? Throw the long A some more? I brought a popper with me, but I threw that for a little bit. Not even a sniff either. I spooked a crappie right there. All right, let me get back here and come up with another game plan. All right, guys, I can't get anything going in that corner. We're gonna head over to another spot, but I'm gonna run this right off this edge. The water's relatively clear. It's that tannic stuff you see down there. So we're gonna try another spot, and that spot is gonna be good for some drop shot stuff. I tried the drop shot here. I didn't get on camera, but nothing. So today, throwing the micro stuff was, the ultralight stuff was the key to everything. All right, guys, get over to LureNet, check eBay, get these 14As, put a willow on the back of that, and ooh, boy, you'll have a lot of fun, especially like on shallow streams and creeks, pond or a lake like this too. I don't mind catching pike, so I like it for pike also. A lot of people can't stand fishing for pike, but that was the first fish I really targeted as a kid and had so much fun doing it. I was pretty good by the time I was 10 years old. I'd already caught a whole bunch of pike, maybe even younger than that. I just remember telling kids at school about these fish up north in Texas. I had no clue what it was. Those kids were like, what? Dang it, every time. There it came through. I try to judge the wind. And it's either, oh, oh, oh! What happened? Did you guys see that? One flared out. So I used to tell the kids about the pike, and I think I even did it for like a little report about catching northern pike, but I love catching them. All right, guys, take a look at this. Do you see what I'm talking about with the geese? Golly. It's just everywhere. So when I switch out of these boots, I gotta just leave them in the back of the truck, and I clean them when I get home. But setting the tackle bag down and what a mess. All right, let's head to the other spot. All right, guys, we're at spot number 2. I fished here before. I'm gonna just pitch this around real fast, but this is the best place for me to throw. Ooh, I got hit right there. Holy cow, he came up and just clocked it. Ooh, and he threw it. Dang. People are going to be like, yeah, if you have the second hooks. No, he got lucky there. I've caught tons of fish on here with one hook. But anyway, this is the chance for me to do the drop shot. It's a great place to do it, so I'm going to be throwing the drop shot. But I want to run this through here first. I just love fishing this. Is that a bobber I see on the bank over there that I can possibly retrieve with a lure retriever and bobber retrieving tool? There's a turtle there. Yeah, look at this thing. It's got that slow rise. This is such a great lure, guys. Ooh, I had another one chase. Yeah, he might have been just too small. He didn't look very big. But no, I've only, on the times I've lost fish on this exact setup, or the 15A, I can count on one hand. 2 of them just recently. And I fish this thing all the time. It's the cool thing about the 14A and the 15A is you can wake them. If you go real slow, you can wake them. And a lot of people do. Hey, Mr. Turtle. And a lot of people do. But beneath the surface, oh man, they're really good. Hi there, Mr. Turtle. Anyway, so we're here for the drop shot. Not throwing this around. Okay, so either a straight retrieve, pop it, let it come up. It's just different ones work, guys. But how they're designed, they got great swimming action. So really, you don't need to do very much. The bluegill we're following. All right, guys, here we go. Berkeley drip minnow is the best drop shot. That, a robo worm, and a Charlie Brewer slider company slider fishing. Worms and Berkeley, anything Berkeley power bait worms and stuff are just awesome. Always catching stuff on them. But these drip minnows are so realistic, they get the job done. All right, guys, this spot's more manicured. Where we just were is on the other side of the trees over here. Not very far. And the river runs in between both of these. Thought I had a bite there, but nothing was doing. Little bit of cabbage, not much. There it is, right there. Everyone's like, you're hiding the hook too much. Don't worry, it catches them. This one in the Berkeley twitchtail. Oh, I've caught probably more fish on the Berkeley twitchtail than any other Berkeley product, including the Swamp Lord, including the worms. That twitchtail for years is my go-to under a little slip bobber. And it was always in that Berkeley juice, and just something about how it moved. What is down there? Am I on a fish? I am on a fish. I'm on a, maybe a catfish? I'm on a fish, but it's not moving. I could feel it tugging. Is it down? Did it swim into like a barrel or something? There we go. I was like, what on earth is going on? Well, he's not a very big guy. How did he get me hung up? There we go on the drop shot. He probably swam down into the cabbage. That's not a bad fish. Yee. There we go, right there. Oh, he's been caught before. Price from the year before. Anyway, there's the drip minnow. Man, that's tough to beat on a drop shot, guys. Unless you drop shot in like live bait. All right, so we got that one. Where was he? Right out there. So I got this on a Bass X setup. I don't have the grip all wrapped like I normally do. All my grips, I put lizard skin on there because I sweat so much. But this one, I don't know if it's just easy going fishing or what, but the grip isn't necessary. And I fish the drop shot quite often. And the Bass X, guys, I know it's an entry-level rod, but man, these are great. Got this on a loose speed spin. I love throwing these. This one's a 300. The 30H is a good one. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Cabbage. So you don't have to move it very much, especially if you got wind or current, just twitch it a little. But then if I feel that I'm stuck, then I just kind of tug it a little bit and then kill it, because if something's watching it, it's usually the weight that gets caught in there, but just twitch it a bit. Oh, he did get into some cabbage. The other thing, guys, is I used a little from Bass Pro, those drop shot systems. I used to tie my own, and I had a whole bunch pre-tied, ready to go. But then I went through all those, and I saw them at Bass Pro for next to nothing. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try them. Never looked back. Makes everything so easy. The fish don't mind it. Oh, do I have a hit? Yep. Nope. False alarm like that other one. I thought I had a hit. And then I did have a hit. Check it out, guys. That big water snake right there. He just ate a frog, and it's just now going in. I could hear the frog freaking out. Dang it, I stepped too far over. I could hear the frog freaking out, splashing in like some kind of a squeaky sound. And then I saw rustling around the rocks. I came over and then saw the bulge. Yeah, usually the water's way up here past all these rocks. This little boat ramp. Wow, that was interesting. There's only one other time where I heard a frog kind of squeak, and when he was getting killed, and that was in North Texas. Some kind of a green ribbon snake had a pretty good sized frog, and I was fishing. It was behind me up near the trail, and I was like, what is that frog doing way up here? And sure enough, the snake was eating him. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up. Get out of here, go get a sugar-free root beer. Had that one catch. Had a couple other hits, but no commits. I'm gonna try one more where I had that real nice thump thump, but I think it was just a bluegill. Because man, I went to set the hook and there was nothing there. It's so peaceful out here to come out here and just hang out. Even if I don't catch anything, you know, this is what works for me. Even if it's hot, the weird smoke haze from the wildfires. See over here, there's no gnats, I guess because we're not by the woods. If I get over closer into the grass, obviously there's some there, but out here on the dock, nothing. But man, I just enjoy coming out here, testing stuff. What was that? See, I'm in cabbage here. The key with the drop shot is you don't have to move it much. Especially if you got a bit of a breeze, let it do the work for you. Wait a minute. I knew something wasn't right. Something did get it. Look, the tail. Now it looks like a Berkeley twitch tail. When I was twitching it down there, I looked, I was like, hey, that didn't look right. They're always trying to catch the dragonflies. I like those Berkeley drip minnows because they come in that what is that down there? Oh, it's a fish. Because they come in the clamshell. Now the twitch tails don't, they're just in there, and the twitch tails can dry out on you if you're not careful. But man, those things catch a ton of fish. I need to do an old school video on the Berkeley twitch tail if I can still find them. All right, one more good cast over there, and then I can hear the eagle back there freaking out. There we go, right there. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.